What's up, family? What's up, family? What's up, family? Um, will Deion Sanders win another game this season? I think that's a real important question. Will Deion Sanders win another game the rest of this season? Let's talk about it. What's up, family? What's up, family? What's up, family? This is the Damien Jones podcast. I'm your host, Damien Jones. I hope you are well. I hope you are blessed, and I hope that you are safe. Hope you had a great weekend. I had a blessed weekend as well. Caught a lot of football this weekend. Tried to catch a little NBA, but I was just bogged down with football, looking at these college football games, which I'm so fascinated with. And I'm going to make this video about Deion, but I'm also going to make some videos later this week about other college teams as well. Many of you have reached out to me and asked me to kind of give my opinion on some of these other college programs, what's happening with Jimbo and these other openings and the college football playoff and things of that nature. And so I'm honored that you think enough of my opinion, and I'll try to do my best to tell you what I think, because although I like to talk about Deion, I can talk about all facets of college football, also NFL, NBA, all those different types of things. But let's get into the question of the day. Will Deion Sanders win another game this season? I told y'all in the last video, listen, the last video really did well. And so everybody who watched it, liked it, commented, I really appreciate it. It's the highest views I've ever received on a video that I made. Let me say that. So I appreciate it. I think that the conversation is really, really awesome. And I just love to create conversations. I don't care to be right or wrong. Nobody's opinion is right or wrong. We all have our opinions, and I love to just be the facilitator to house those opinions and just have quality, respectful conversation. That said, Colorado played this weekend, so let's pull up the stats. All right, listen, we look at stats on this broadcast, and as we break down, I made some notes as I was watching the game. I made some notes for you all to see. And again, I don't want to just talk out of the side of my head. I want to, be one who can talk about the numbers and the stats of what's happening. So they lost the game. And again, I like to give credit where it's due. So I'm gonna start with the positive from that game. Let me just say first, they're 4-6. They've lost 4 straight. They are 1-6 in the conference. So they're next to last in the conference. Their chances of making a bowl game are pretty much done. Again, I didn't think that they're going to win another game, but let me start with the positive. I thought this game with Pat Shermer having a full week of preparation and practice, I thought that the offense looked way better this week. I thought the offense looked way better this week. I thought there was a rhythm and a flow. They tried to run the ball more. And again, every game you're not going to blow it out of the water in terms of running the ball, but what it does is keeps the defense honest in terms of respecting the run, in terms of where the defense positions itself, and it opens up the play action pass, things downfield, things of that nature. So I thought Pat Shermer called a really good game. I really do. And so let me give kudos that the offense looked more, and we'll look at the team stats in a minute. The offense just looked more efficient. As you see, they scored points. They scored 14 points in the first quarter. We haven't seen that in weeks. So that was very promising, a step in the right direction. I thought the defense was much better. Why is this thing always pop up? 1 second. Let me cut this music off over here. Okay. So the defense looked much better as well, right? But the only problem with the defense, man, is that they give up these big gashes. They give up these they'll make stops. They were getting off the field, but then on third and short, they'll give up a 30 or 40-yard run. And so as we look at these stats right here, Arizona's quarterback had an efficient game. I think Shador had, on paper, an efficient game. I'll talk about some of my notes and the things that I don't like that he did. From a rushing standpoint, Colorado, look, this is the problem right here. They still can't run the ball. 30 rushes. They committed to running, so good job, but they can't run the ball. 2.6 yards per carry. They're just not going to get it. And your leading rusher is your quarterback. His longest rush was 16 yards. Anthony Hankerson can't get anything going. Wilkerson can't get anything going. Your most dynamic running back can't get anything going. Dylan Edwards, again, he's gone, right? So the offense looked better, but they just can't run the ball. And defensively, look at this right here. Jonah Coleman for Arizona, 11 carries, 180 yards, 16 yards a pop. This guy right here won the game for Arizona. Because there are times when the defense did a great job of stopping them, and then he would break out for a big run, and it would put them in scoring position. And now Colorado's back on his heels again, right? So kudos to this Arizona team and everything that they're doing. Let's look at the team stats here for a moment. Okay. Now, let's look at third down. Again, the offense was better. 5 of 15. Okay. About the same as last week. Went for it on fourth down. I think Deion was responsible this week. He didn't go for those crazy fourth down plays. He punted the ball. People booed him, but I thought it was a responsible move to make. Okay. No interceptions thrown, but this continues to be a problem right here. You can't run the ball and you can't stop the run. 8 yards a pop opposed to 3 yards a pop. And then here's the other problem. Penalties. Penalties were huge in this game for Colorado. They would make stops, and then a roughing the passer call would come, or they would get a first down, or a holding call would come, right? I think they stopped Arizona in the red zone one play. And Arizona's getting ready to kick a field goal at a very, very important time in the game, and they got a roughing the passer call. Why is that important? Because, look, they won the time of possession. This is how you win football games, winning the time of possession. You can't just give the ball right back to your opponent, and they got more opportunities to score. Hold the ball, eat the clock. I thought they did a very good job from that standpoint. They did a very good job from that standpoint, okay? So let me tell you my notes that I made. Damien Jones Podcast. Make sure you follow me right now on X. Make sure you like this broadcast, share this broadcast. I really, really appreciate you. So here's the notes that I made. I was watching the game. All right. Here we go right here. The protection. Shermer had a full week, and if you guys watch the game, the offensive line looked levels better. The best they've looked all year. They looked so great. Protection was moving, was sliding. Shador had a better pocket to throw out of. Now, he still has a problem of holding on to the ball too long and trying to be Superman with some of these plays. Get rid of the ball. The longer you hold the ball, the more your offensive line has to do more work, and they're going to end up getting a holding call. So a lot of those penalties I showed you a minute ago are holding calls because Shador is holding on to the ball too long. But let's give the offensive line a lot of credit. They showed up. People talk about, oh, they aren't any good. Yeah, they are good if they're coached right. And I think they got some good coaching. So protection looked better. As I talked about, they went away from the no huddle and the no tempo, and I think that's why they were in this game. They had an opportunity to win the game. You know, they lost the game in a last-second field goal. They really did. As I talked about, Shador's holding on to the ball too long, where he ends up getting those intentional grounding penalties. If you watch, those who watch the game know exactly what I'm talking about. He's going to get at least one intentional grounding every game, okay? I thought the defense looked better. But the stupid penalties, and they can't stop the run. And here's the biggest thing. Here's the biggest thing. We talked about the recruiting and what Colorado has to do to get better for next year. They got to get more depth in certain areas. Now, Winston Watkins, one of the highly touted receivers of this next class, just decommitted the other day. Why? I don't know. I know he said I'm not sure that Prime is going to be there next year. We got some openings coming up. Texas A&M is opening up. Will Prime go that way? I'll talk about that in a minute, matter of fact. But they talked about you got to get offensive linemen. True, you got to go get some offensive. But I'm going to tell you one of the biggest problems on this team, they don't have any linebackers. And that's why they can't stop the run. The linebackers they have, Trevor Woods is a former safety. He is probably 210 soaking wet. They are so small at the linebacker position, and they don't have any depth, and that's why teams run right down their throat. They need linebackers. If you watch the game, you know what I'm talking about. Those of you who don't watch the game and just love Coach Prime, you're going to get in the comments and say, oh, you hating, you don't know what you're talking about, lift up the black man. I'm talking from a pure football standpoint. If you know football, they need linebackers. On top of needing more offensive linemen to get depth in your roster when injuries happen and things of that nature. But the linebackers are like, they look like cornerbacks. And that's why teams are running down their throat. And if you cannot stop the run, listen, in order to win in college football, you don't need a flashy offense. You don't need to score 50 points every night. You don't need to throw the ball. If you can run the ball on another team and control the clock and then be able to stop the run somewhat, you can win 7 to 8 ball games and make a bowl game every year. You don't have to do this flashy stuff, throwing it around 400 yards passing. That looks cute, but it doesn't win big ball games in the trenches. Tell me what you think in the comments. Will Deion Sanders win another game this season? And what it looks like to me is they won't. I said it last week, and I'm going to tell you something. I would have been very happy had they won this game Saturday. They were right there. They could have won it, and this is why I go so hard about this team, because they're right there. These are games they can win. If this team was garbage and trash and I knew they had no talent and they couldn't win, I wouldn't even talk about them. But because this team is right there and they're just like one play away or one stop away, I have a certain standard that I want to talk about, because they could have won that game and beat the 21st ranked team in the country and then would have had 2 ranked wins on the schedule. I don't know why this stuff pops up. I'm recording this on the Mac desktop, and every time I do a thumbs up or whatever, it starts doing all this crazy. So watch this. Okay, now see, I don't know why it does this stuff. I don't know. Whatever. I talked to my wife about that. But they won't win. I think they have Washington State left on the schedule, and somebody else. They're not going to beat them. This team is done this year. This team is absolutely done this year, right? But I want to talk about the question of Jimbo Fisher is fired. Are they going to go after Deion? Are they going to go after Deion, right? But here's my question for you right now.
Oh, no. Hold on. Huh? Oh, no. Hold on. Oh, no. Do you believe that? Huh? Oh, no.
Do y'all believe?
Hold on. Oh, no. Do you believe that?
Do you believe he lost 4 straight games?
Oh, no. Hold on.
Do you believe? Remember
no.
this after they
Do
beat
you believe
TCU.
that?
They won their first game, and he came into the press conference going after Ed Werder, going after reporters. I'm keeping receipts. Do you believe? So now, do all you Deion groupies, do you still believe?
Huh? Oh, no. Hold on.
Do you still believe?
Do you believe?
Do you still believe? So Jimbo Fisher got fired yesterday. They're going to have to pay him $76 million to go away. They've essentially paid him about $120 million overall. That's a nice payday. But a lot of folks are saying, will they go after Deion? Will they look to hire Deion? And so a lot of recruits are worried about that. Is he going to go after? I mean, because they clearly, A&M has plenty of money. Deion wants to make good money. It's any coach's dream to coach in the SEC. Particularly, this is the SEC West, where you got to see LSU and Alabama and Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, Brian Kelly, Nick Saban every year. That's a tough gauntlet. Is Deion ready for that? Now he's going to finish this year 4-8. Does A&M want to hire a first-year 4-8 coach? Well, not a first-year coach, but a 4-8 coach to lead their program? I don't know. We'll see. I think it'd be a tremendous mistake if they go after him and hire him. As I told you, he's not a good coach. He has to learn more to coach. He can learn better. Go to the Big 12 next year. Continue to learn how to be an in-game coach. Learn how to make in-game adjustments. But you're going to get chewed up and spit out in that SEC West. So, Deion, if you're watching this, somebody sends this to you, stay as far away as you can from the SEC. You're not ready right now, buddy. You're not ready. It may take you a few years, but you're not ready. You know, Dan Lanning came from the SEC and beat the brakes off of you. So if you can't beat Dan Lanning, if you can't beat Stanford, if you barely beating Colorado State, you can't beat Arizona, God knows you can't coach to some tough wins in the SEC. Man, they could have won that game. But will they win? Do you see any games on the schedule remaining where they can win, get to 6 wins, and make a bowl game? I want them to make a bowl game. I bought Peach Bowl tickets weeks ago. I thought they were going to make the Peach Bowl, and I bought the tickets, and now I'm going to go to the game, but I don't know who's going to play. It ain't going to be Colorado. So we'll see, my friends. Really appreciate you. God bless you. Tell me what you think in the comments. Will Deion win another game this year? And will he leave Colorado for the greener pastures of Texas A&M? God bless you. This is the Damien Jones Podcast.